So hey everybody, this is Basekip bringing you guys a game that was posted over on the Dota 2 Cast It subreddit. I think it's a great little project, so I figured I would just try and do some of those games for my casting practice and that sort of thing. So this was a game posted up by jollyinabout. It's from the Alienware Arena tournament. I believe it's going to be GPM up against CtM. Again, I'm Basekip. Not sure what else there is to say, but my microphone's been sitting here staring at me guiltily for the past little bit, so I figured I should do a little bit more casting practice since I've been slacking off anyway, and I'm a little bit sick of centaurs stampeding over me in pubs. But anyway, going to be getting into this game. I'm not sure what the patch was when this was played, so we'll have to see. So we're going to have CtM, which is changing the metagame, up against GPM, which is a glory push mid. I don't know the first thing about these teams. I know that this match went for about 36 minutes, so it's reasonably quick. And Rubik and Darksea are going to start us off with the bans. And Rubik now a little bit to me perhaps over nerfed. I mean, Fade Bolt took a hit in 6.76B, I believe we're up to. And I mean, the past few patches have not been kind to Rubik. We've seen 4 staff nerfs. His move speed got changed significantly. I think he lost about 15 move speed. But they've all really sort of hurt his viability. But he's still a very, very strong hero, and Spell Steal has not been changed in the slightest. But the Dirge ban as well by GPM. It's interesting because it's a hero that some teams favor very, very heavily, and some teams just don't like playing whatsoever. And he's very interesting in terms of fitting into a lineup. You definitely need to go and push and try and end the game as soon as Dirge hits his peak, which is very, very early. I mean, 4 points in Tombstone, 4 points in Decay, maybe a couple of points in Ulti, a couple of points in Soul Rip, and then Dirge is really about as good as he's going to get. And that rank 4 Tombstone up against level 8 heroes, 8-9 heroes, just absolutely wrecks. And it's pretty difficult to bring down as well, so not all that shocking to see the Dirge ban. And Batrider going to be picked up by GPM as the first pick, so probably going to see him solo mid, but again, we have seen Bat run in some pretty weird roles recently. And Invoker going to be the pickup, so maybe going to be seeing a Quaswex Invoker if he's going to be going mid up against that Batrider. Pretty tanky because of the points in Quas along with the regen. And Cold Snap is a great way to keep Batrider away from you when he's trying to dive under that tower. Go for those early first bloods. And so Jakira picked up, so good support for CtM, and Venomancer the response by GPM. So solid supports on either side, and Leshrac picked up as well. So with Venomancer taking that hard support role, Leshrac gonna get a little bit more farm. Gonna be nice to see that. And Leshrac, as always, I don't think he's gonna fall out of the meta without any significant changes. I mean, cast animation now on Edict was a little bit of a nerf, but we do see him in pretty much every single game. All around great, works great in tri-lanes, works great as a solo, works great with farm, works great without farm. I don't know what else there is to say about the Shrek. He's just fantastic overall. So CtM, they've got probably their solo mid, they've got Jakiro to support, so he's probably going to be, well, either in a tri-lane or maybe heading up towards that top lane, just going to be babysitting someone. And no jungler yet for either team, so no giveaways really in terms of their laning just yet. But Veno Leshrac +1, perhaps a bit of a tri-lane, maybe something, well, maybe with the CK, something along those lines, an extremely lethal combination. I mean, Leshrac CK, even without the Venomancer, is extremely terrifying. And GPM will still have plenty of options in terms of their lanes. I do think the duo mid is something that I'd like to see more of. I think we've seen Naga and Leshrac run a couple of times as a duo mid. It's great for shutting down heroes like Quap. Fairly squishy, but their mobility is sort of cancelled out by those chain stuns and ensnares. And a similar story for CK with either Ancient Apparition or the Leshrac. Sort of great duo potential there on that mid lane. So Bounty Hunter going to be picked up now by CtM, so probably going to be seeing him on the hard lane solo, just trying to hide out in Invis, get up to that level 6, and then make his recovery with the track gold. And with that, we've rounded off our first set of picks, so we're going to be getting into some bans right now. CtM probably still looking for a carry right now, so CK's actually going to be banned out. So GPM not going to be able to pick that up, and it would have been a great fit, as I mentioned. Syllabear now, the ban. I mean, Syllabear is a good safe lane farmer. It's a good option to form up the timing push around the Radiance, and Anti-Mage Bandit as well, so both teams just sort of focusing their bans on carries right now, and it's a good choice. Both teams do sort of have their hard supports lined up. I think CtM might be looking towards a jungler here, given that Bounty is probably going to be on that hard lane solo, and it does sort of, there's this weird thing happening in the metagame right now where one hero just sort of ends up floating around the map a bit. Either they're just stacking and pulling in the jungle, or something along those lines. I mean, for example, Navi, we saw Puppy jungling up as the Batrider, and just trying to do whatever you can with that jungle, because you don't really want to have 3 heroes in your safe lane. And while a jungler is ideal, it obviously doesn't always fit into a lineup, given that junglers in Dota are a fairly niche role in terms of heroes that can do it exclusively. So we'll see what GPM opt to ban out here. GPM, they've probably got maybe a bit of an edge in terms of the team fight front right now. Jakiro is obviously a team fight monster, and Invoker as well, very strong, but the combination damage from the Venomancer and the Leshrac, along with the hold from the Batrider, is going to make for some nasty team fights. But good chase from CtM between the Bounty Hunter and the Invoker. I mean, Quaswex Invoker, as I do think we're going to be seeing here. Plethora of disables, good speed from the track as well, and Luna, now the ban, so GPM still just trying to find that safe lane farmer and banning that out. So one more carry perhaps for CtM, trying to see what this safe lane is going to be for GPM. They could still go for a tri-lane. Right now the option is there, and I mean, Venomancer and Leshrac at low levels are just so deadly. I mean, Venomous Gale, just 1 point in Edict and 1 point in Stun, and Leshrac does some great damage. But CtM going to opt to ban out the Enigma, so jungler taken out there, and just going to have to see how teams opt to round this out. I guess I'll take a quick moment to just say that I haven't done any casting in a little bit, so obviously disclaimer on all of my picks and bans. They're always terrible. My lane predictions aren't always that great either, so I'm sure there are people sitting and watching this, if anyone is watching this, just sitting there shaking their heads and thinking, what is Baseskip saying? But that's the whole point of practice, so anyway, Beastmaster now going to be the pickup by GPM, so I'm probably going to see him perhaps soloing up that hard lane, something along those lines. I guess Batrider still heading towards mid, and then all they need is that carry. And who is it going to be? And it'll be interesting to see what Venomancer and Leshrac sort of do with themselves in this game. I mean, there's great first blood potential in almost any of their lanes. Anyone plus Venomancer could really set that up, so yeah, we'll have to see what they opt for, but probably expecting to see a hard carry right now. And or I mean, they could still go for a bit of an aura push. I mean, they've got good pushing potential, but CtM opting to pick up their hard carry now, so Faceless Void coming out. So I guess sort of putting the onus, well, either GPM that needs to try and pick up their own hard carry now and play sort of, well, they'll have the late game insurance from that carry, or decide to now switch to a fairly maybe early game carry. I mean, for example, the Tiny, and then just go before Faceless Void really becomes relevant. I mean, Faceless Void can still go for a mid-game item build in this game just because of the track gold off the Bounty Hunter. If he's participating in team fights, he's not going to be starved for farm. So it could go for something reasonably early, like maybe a Maelstrom, Yasha, items like that. Doesn't need to head for the Battle Fury, perhaps. Battle Fury, Mask of Madness, maybe a little bit of a farmier Void build, and does sort of need to get to either the BKB or Butterfly or something like that afterwards to sort of augment his survivability. But again, could go for early to mid game items, be relevant, be ganking, be getting that chrono off on cooldown. And Faceless Void combos extremely well with the Jakiro as well, so good synergy there. And the Disruptor going to be the last pickup by CtM, so I'm really interested to see where Veno and Disruptor, well, either Jakiro and Disruptor and then Veno and the Shrek, where they're going to end up in these lanes. But everybody's going to pick up their heroes, and then I'm going to run over who's playing what, and then we will be getting underway with this game. And should be some good action, hopefully. And I guess again I'll just mention that, yeah, this is from the Dota 2 Cast It subreddit, so people are encouraged to go and post their replays for people to cast, and obviously casters are encouraged to go and pick out some replays to try and cast as well. So without much further ado, getting into the game. So we've got Svengali playing the Disruptor. We've got, I'm gonna butcher all of these names, guys. I'm really sorry if any of you who are playing this are watching. So we've got Akachi playing the Jakiro, we've got Cyrax playing the Bounty Hunter, Sneaks is going to be on this Invoker, and Scones is going to be on the Faceless Void. Over on the Radiant side, so GPM, we've got Smaug playing the Batrider, we've got Nerukad playing the Leshrac, we've got Sadinar playing the Venomancer, we've got Shawnee or Sini, I guess, playing the Beastmaster, and who does that leave? That leaves Doomsday to play the Tiny. And so Batrider does have a bit of a bottle rush set up there, so it looks like he will be heading towards mid, but just trying to block out any aggression down on this bottom lane to start. And Bounty Hunter trying to get some woods down. Poor man's shield already picked up on him, so no regen to speak of just yet, so a little bit interesting there. Was going to try and probably get the block off on the pull camp, but unable to do so to start. So we'll see if he opts to try and scout out the rune, or just try and invis through to get that pull camp boarded up. And when you've got 3 heroes down in this bottom lane like GPM are looking to do, they need to keep control of this pull, because it's a really important source of XP for these supports, given that Tiny is going to be taking pretty much all the lane XP and farm. Are there any sentries picked up just yet on GPM? They have a smoke, so but no dust or sentries just yet. And sentry ward actually down, just trying to spot out if the ancient's going to be blocked. So it looks like Shawnee just going to be stacking ancients for the start of this game, so going to be completely avoiding the kill potential up on this top lane. So Void going to be getting some great free farm, and Tiny as well, same sort of story. Cyrax just forced to sit back and hug his tower for now, and Sadinar gets the other sentry ward delivered, so Shawnee just using one over on the ancients, and Venomancer going to have the other one. And Shrek just heading up now to harass Bounty Hunter back a little bit, but poor man's shield gonna keep his health up reasonably, but again still no regen, so gonna be completely forced out of this lane. So on mid, how are things shaping up? So Sneaks now 1 for 0, Batrider up to 3 for 2, 4 for 2 now. Still too early to really tell where things are headed, but I mean it's a fairly defensive lane for the Invoker, and he's copped a few nerfs recently as well. I'm not sure what patch this is though, so no, it does look like his base damage has been nerfed, so much more difficult for him to last it and stay in control of this lane. And I mean, not the easiest thing in the world diving the Quaswex Invoker or even just the Cold Snap, but if the Batrider can get enough of an advantage, it's still doable. And Magic Stick now picked up by Sneaks, so a little bit more survivability there for him. And that's still the 0-minute rune, that regen just out there. And oh no! Oh, that was not lucky at all. So Svengali comes in to try and block the Ancients using a sentry, but this sentry is already down, so the Ancients just immediately attack theirs and take it out. So placing it out of range now, so now going to be able to get rid of that sentry. But it's almost done anyway. Flamebreak knocking Svengali back for now. A couple of stacks up on him, and we'll see if Smog opts to go for this. One more sticky napalm, now pops to Firefly. Going to be going over, but the Glimpse is going to send him all the way back. And Shawnee now continues to chase, but Jakiro is here with that 1 rank of Ice Path, so getting some damage down. And Shawnee now actually heading up onto the high ground. Is Invoker going to come across from mid to try and get him? Looks like he's just wandering around for now. Tango's up on that tree, but now Sneaks is coming in. Still has that Cold Snap available. Ice Path going to land as well. Shawnee probably going to be the first blood here. One more right click, going to be picking up that first blood. So Svengali grabs that. And Cyrax, is that inside? I'm not sure if that's in range to block the neutrals. That is not a ward that I'm familiar with. It might just be inside the spawn box, in fact. So we'll have to see when the supports try and pull that. So if that works, then that's a new one for me, and well played. But it could just be that Cyrax is trying to keep an eye on the neutrals, see when they're being pulled, and then try and go over and maybe steal a little bit of XP. And still doing fine down on bot with only the poor man's shield. Now get some regen shipped in. And Sednar going to eat a few tower hits while trying to cancel off that clarity, but Cyrax just getting into the invis in time. And up on top, Scone's getting complete free farm. Shawnee now heads in since the Ancients have been blocked off, but this is still a level 1 Beastmaster, and he's died as well. He is not having a great time. And has actually opted to pick up a Sage's Mask as well. Was probably trying to head towards that Soul Ring, but just is not getting any farm at all right now. And Fortification already popped down on bot. GPM just going to be trying to push, and 1 point already picked up in the Edict. Not a whole lot the Bounty Hunter can do. And as soon as these towers go down, it frees up a little bit of farming space for him as well. So not going to be all that concerned. As soon as he can keep the creep sort of in this area, then he can afford to sort of come out of that invis and farm a little bit. And with more space for the lane to travel back and forth on, it's more difficult to get sentries down and reliably spot out the bounty hunters. So he's not going to be all that worried. But Avalanche actually going to go toss as well. Looks like he's going to be going down here. So maybe getting just a little bit out of position there. And the tower picked up as well. So big boon for GPM. And Sednar just going to waddle away for now. Grabs up his boots. And on mid, Sneaks with that Illarune, so a little bit of help for him there. And 10 charges already up in his stick, so point picked up in Wex, so we'll be going for the Quaswex build in this game. And a great choice against mana dependent, but not very big on the mana pool here, such as the Tiny and the Beastmaster. And GPM going to continue to push down on this bottom lane, but Nerakat eating a couple of tower hits for his trouble. Cyrax going to go on Doomsday now, and Jakiro coming in as well. Ice Path going to land perfectly, but Sadnar comes back, and the Leshrax down on top. Cyrax now going to back off, but the Cold Snap goes. Doomsday now in trouble. He's going to be picked up. Sneaks comes in, invokes the Tornado for now, but is he going to get in range? That's the cast range, but what's the travel distance? Not very far, and continues to chase. Wexor's up, but now going to back off. Still 10 charges up in that magic stick, so hopefully going to use those soon. That's Svengali now able to get a little bit of farm on mid, and Scones. What is he going for up in this top lane? Ring of Health picked up, and I doubt he was taking any harassment up here, so probably just going to be heading towards the Battle Fury with that. And did he... what was that? Plus 1,000? I don't know what that was, but I'm sure this is something obvious that I'm missing. But anyway, so Shawnee now finally picked up that Soul Ring. Level 2 on him. There's still a single stack of Ancients there for him. Cyrax now to level 5, so level 6 going to be there soon. Probably going to be roaming around the map, trying to get those track kills going, just to try and recover from the tough start that he's had down on this bottom lane. And Jakiro now down here just sort of help him out a little bit, but looks like GPM just going to be trying to go for this tier 2 tower one more time, or try and get a little bit of static farm up on this Tiny. Phase Boot's not picked up, but they're splitting XP 3 ways, and I'm not sure if that's the best thing to be doing right now. Venomancer's not even close to level 5, and Nerakat fairly close to level 4, so they're going to be able to either get another point in stun or a point in lightning or stats. Cannot get another point in edict just yet, so Sadnar now going to head off. Not going to be splitting up XP 3 ways anymore. And Scones continues to farm up on this top lane. Perseverance now picked up, so plus 10 free damage out of nowhere for him, but he's just having completely uncontested farm up on this top lane. So 44 for 16. CtM just going to get rid of that Venomancer ward. But Observer ward is down, so keeping an eye on what's going on for now. And these obs will be running out in just a second. Smog now on the retreat with the Firefly. Dual Breath not gold, just landing. And the Cold Snap, but going to be able to retreat out. And Tranquil Boots and Bottle, he's going to be absolutely fine. Actually has a regen ring, so even more than fine. Back up to full health now. And the Shrek pops off the Edict down on this bottom lane, doing some great damage to the tier 2 tower, and there is no fortification. Venomancer ward just going to hold off the Disruptor and this next creep wave for a little bit, but tower is still reasonably healthy, and it might end up in deny range. Siege creep still wailing away. GPM really want this, and Cyrax now moving into position, heading forward, but 2 in from the side. Ice Path lands. Doomsday now in trouble. Janata hit for the slow, and the glimpse backwards lands perfectly right into the kinetic field. And Akachi in a little bit of trouble. Toss going to finish him off, and Doomsday now in the tree. Phase Boots getting him out of there. Sneak's gonna throw the tornado through, and Cyrax continues to chase, but taking some big damage from that Edict. Now on Snarecat, gonna finish him off with that Shuriken toss. And the telekinetic field down. Well, one more time. Doomsday trying to pick him off, but Satinar tossed forward, now going to be picked off by the tower. Sneaks taking some damage. Smog stuck in the Ice Path one more time. Now down on bot with that DD rune. And excuse that weird graphical glitch. I think I need to update my drivers. But anyway, Scones continues to farm up on top. And overall the trade, I mean 3 for 4 right now. But Tiny being a fair bit more active than the Faceless Void for now. And looks like GPM just want to keep pressure down on this bottom lane, try and pick up this tower. And Bracer now picked up for Doomsday, so going to be heading towards that Drum of Endurance. And tower now in deny range, but GPM want to go for it, and they do have the double damage rune up on the Batrider. Doomsday now on their retreat, kinetic field down, but doesn't catch anyone. Great tornado flies through, hits on 3, Sadnar in a little bit of trouble, but gonna turn around for now. And the Flaming Lasso now on the Invoker, but walks straight into that Ice Path, and actually picking off the bounty hunter there. Well played by Doomsday. And thinking of turning around again. No fear for this Tiny 3v1, but tower will be denied, so 1 for 1 the trade with the denial. Avalanche coming through, no toss, just trying to chase for now. Kinetic field turns around with the Ice Path. Doomsday probably going to be going down here, but did manage to buy up his Drum of Endurance just before he died, so not a huge deal. But still 1 more kill going the way of CtM, so 6 for 4 for them right now. And Leshrac now on mid, almost finished up his urn, and just going to be trying to pick up another tower, now up to level 5, so rank 3 Edict is there, and just touching base with the Faceless Void up on top. So he's up to 66 last hits, and I believe there are only 82 last hits available in the first 10 minutes, so he is doing fairly well. Narcat now in trouble. Janata hit. Glimpse not going anywhere, but 1 more right click, gonna finish him off. Sneaks now TPing in. Still has the tornado and the Cold Snap available. Jakiro, Disruptor forced back for now. Avalanche comes in, toss as well. Svengali immediately picked up. Ice Path not gonna land, and Flame Break not knocking anyone anywhere. Smog now on the retreat with that Firefly. Axis fly through. 4 heroes here on mid. CtM on the back foot for now. Sneaks trying to turn around and gets knocked away by the Flame Break. Able to retreat for now, and just zipping around with those Wex Orbs. And Shawnee still just trying to head in. Tornado flies through, hits on 2. And Cyrax still considering going for this. Not going to be able to get the Janata hit. Knocked back by Flame Break. Will he go down here? 1 more right click. Flaming Lasso as well. Looks like Cyrax going to be going down. And great play by the Batrider there. And I guess a little bit inadvertent as well. And Jakira now maybe in a little bit of trouble. Doomsday going to keep chasing through, but the Glimpse sending him straight back. So going to be fine for now. And Jakira's still not backing off. And Tiny still has a full combo available, so just going to wrap around now on mid. And he is just so fast with the move speed from his ultimate, the Phase Boots, and the drum. And up on top, how is the Faceless Void doing? He's extremely close to his Battle Fury, but I think his team might need him slightly sooner than this. I mean, they've already lost the tier 1 and the tier 2 on bot, and GPM are just being relentless. And Faceless Void now forces TP and comes in, lands the Chrono, hits on 3. Venomancer just stuck outside, but Doomsday the initial target. Narrowcat in big trouble as well. Scones goes across, and Doomsday going to be picked up as well. Couple of track kills there, and the Glimpse backwards hits perfectly. Cold Snap on the Batrider. 4 kills going to be going the way of CtM here. And just perfect timing for the Faceless Void to come in and picking up some big gold from that engagement as well. And all that Shawnee can do is just sit back, stack up these Ancients, and probably watches the tier 1 on mid falls as well. And, I mean, Venomancer and Leshrac now respawning. But CtM, are they going to go for this, or maybe just back off? And Scones can finish up his Battle Fury anytime now. But TPs now head back towards mid, and all of GPM have respawned for now. Shawnee is still up on that top lane, but looks like GPM going to be able to hold this off. Venomancer wards now being spammed out. Rank 3 up on those already, so good turtling potential there. And how is item progression going? So nothing really for Doomsday just yet. Narakat almost to that urn, but not quite. It's a really significant pushing item for how cheap it is. Really great sustain. Tornado and the EMP gonna fly through. Not too much of a problem for Doomsday. Still has enough for a combo, and Sneak's knockback. Great play by Smog with that flame break. I should not cast when I'm tired. I think it shows. But anyway, continuing with the game. So Scone now has that Battle Fury up. 13 minutes, fairly quick on that. But again, Faceless Void really just aiming towards the late game here. So CtM just aiming to hold out, and good turtling potential between the Disruptor, the Jakiro, and the Invoker as well. Just so much spam to clear out creep waves. Great defensive team fighting ultimates and abilities all around as well. And just great for buying time for the Faceless Void. And again, whenever he's needed, he can just TP in and use that Chronosphere to try and swing the fight. So CtM playing extremely well, but they're having to stay grouped up as 4, so they're splitting XP 4 ways right now, and there's one lane just going completely ignored by both teams at the moment. But GPM, they're playing 5-man Dota. They are getting some, well, they are saving up some farm in the form of these Ancients. And Shawnee is now up to level 6, so does have that Primal Roar available, but the Static Storm and the Macro Pyre are both up as well for CtM. So again, if one big kinetic field lands, there's a ton of damage potential there, and great hold from the Invoker as well. Still no points picked up in Exhort just yet, so it's just EMP, Tornado, and the Cold Snap. And Shawnee now comes in from the side, gonna get the Primal Roar, but I don't think anyone's gonna be able to go on Akachi, and a great Static Storm lands on 2. Macro Power gonna fly through as well. Doomsday now in their retreat. Cyrax coming in. Toss gonna do some good damage to him, but the Chronosphere comes in from Scones. Doomsday now the target. Cyrax able to right click from outside of the Chrono. 4 heroes dead right now for GPM. Shawnee the target. Track up as well. One more time lock, another time lock. 5 kills going the way of CtM. Fantastic play by them. And even Jakiro managing to survive there. He was just so far back behind his tower when he got hit by the Primal Roar. There was just no way to get damage on him. And CtM should be able to pick up a couple of towers here for their trouble as well. So 7-17 the swing. Gold heavily, well, not actually that heavily in favor of CtM. 16 minutes in, but 7.5k the XP difference. That's the big one here. And track kills just keep flowing. Fortification going to pop off, but the EMP Tornado will not land. Kinetic Field up on the Leshrac. He's in big trouble. And Cyrax now going on the Venomancer. Scones backtracking a lot of that damage there, but will now be grabbed by the Flaming Lasso. Probably going to be taken out. Stick Charges trying to keep him up for a little bit longer. 2 for 1 the trade right now. And Jakiro and Invoker on the retreat. Flamebreak actually going to knock them away. And Cyrax getting a kill in the back there. Able to pick off the Venomancer. And Doomsday actually able to grab the Jakiro there. Sneaks on the retreat. Wex orbs up. Still has 15 charges on that magic stick, but no spells for him, so I'm just going to be trying to retreat. I mean, Toss was available for Tiny, but didn't really have anything to throw. And I'm not sure if it would have been enough damage anyway. Cyrax now comes in. Medallion picked up on him, so on the chase. And GPM will be walking past this dire ward, so they do have sight of that invis. And it looks like Cyrax is going to be trying to come down and deny that off, so we'll pick it up. Center ward down. They will be able to spot that out right now, perhaps. So, yep. So, Batrider goes up on the high ground, gives sight for the Leshrac just to pick off that ward. And Cyrax is going to walk right past the sentry and the obs, but no problem for him. And no blink up on the Batrider just yet either. And Doomsday now in big trouble on mid. Good Primal Roar lands. Kinetic Field not quite going to grab him. So Doomsday able to make it out on 15 HP. Just barely surviving there. Skin of his teeth. And now able to retreat out. Is there a single point in Exhort? No. I was gonna say rank 1 Sunstrikes, but not gonna happen. And GPM now head up towards top lane where Scone's trying to pick up another tower here, but just gonna retreat now, so not quite in deny range. And not gonna be another tower hit either, so maybe gonna have to try and let these creeps through just to be able to deny that off. Or gonna try and hold it as well. And CtM, they're taking good control of the map right now. Again, they're still up 9 kills. Tornado not going to land on Doomsday. Ice Path, however, will find its mark. But looks like CtM just going to go for the tower. Disruptor comes in, not able to spot off Doomsday there, who is just hiding in the trees. But is there any TP support ready to come in and help him? So Batrider has picked up that blink now. Shawnee going to head down towards bot. TP support now heading in for GPM. And Cold Snap available, but no EMP. Sneaks the target, immediately going to be picked off here. And 4 heroes down on bot. Well, 3 heroes for CtM and 3 for GPM. But the Shrek, needs to be careful now. So we'll be able to wander past, and Svengali now the target. The Tiny is just too fast. Avatos combo will pick him off. Roar as well, I'm not sure if that was needed, but... And Bat now tracked up, but... What is happening up in this top lane? Scone just continues to farm, and CtM going to be respawning fairly soon. I don't think their tier 3 is going to be in any trouble whatsoever, and the Primal Roar is down for another minute. So, I mean, Poison Nova's still there, but it's only rank 1, and the Shrek now up to level 7, so some good damage potential there. Macropyre already going down, so 1 creep wave guaranteed to be wiped out there. And a single 2 Plague Wards crest the high ground, but everyone for CtM now up, so it looks like GPM just going to back off for now. And wards back up for CtM. Not going to be able to spot out that one, but that obs is going to be down in just a second anyway. And looks like GPM want to go for this. Maybe going to be giving away the tier 2 here for free. Are there any TPs available? No, 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 and no. So this is going to be a free tower for the Faceless Void. And just tanking it up for now. But yeah, whole creep wave here. Nobody's in position to TP back and try and stop him. So will be a free tier 2 going the way of CtM. And Cyrax may be in a little bit of trouble here. It looks like Batrider may be going to be able to grab him up. But no, not quite. Sentry Ward now down. Cyrax may be going to try and deny himself the neutral, but no, will be grabbed up by the Flaming Lasso, so will be going down here. And Leshrac actually picking up that kill with the final stun. So now they're going to fly through. But CtM not really in a position to follow up from that. And Scone's now up to 3.1k gold. So a lot of farm on this Faceless Void. And going to be heading towards his next big item soon, whatever that is going to be. Maybe the Mask of Madness. I mean, not great, especially if he's picked up by the Flaming Lasso. It's a lot of damage for him to be taking. So maybe going for something a little bit more conservative. Could even be going for a BKB here. But GPM want to continue the push, and Tiny almost up to his Ags, but still only level 12, so not going to be getting the most out of it until he gets up to that level 16. But it looks like it's going to be another tier 2 picked up by GPM, and the Edict's going to pop off as well. Fortification pops on 5 HP, and in comes Scones. Chrono on 2. Avalanche stun lands through, and the Flame Break as well. Scone not able to right click as he was want, but a great Macropyre and the Static Storm combination. And Sadar now tracked up, able to get that Poison Nova off, but 3 kills going the way of CtM. I mean, tower did go down, but 3 kills, well worth the trade. And Tiny comes in looking for sneaks, and actually sent a little bit closer there, but no Avalanche available. We'll get the toss, double kill for him. And Doomsday will now go down, but... And Batrider wants some action as well. Flaming Lasso available, but Dual Breath going to hit there, and one more right click from Sneaks. Gonna finish that off. So Batrider throwing his life away a little bit, but you could see what he was going for and wanted a little bit of that action. But I think Doomsday sort of sort of used up all of their luck for that team fight. That was a big toss double kill. And yep, so Faceless Void's now picked up the BKB. So gonna be able to do whatever he wants in these team fights. Only needs to be actually needs to be extremely careful of the Primal Roar and the Flaming Lasso, both of which are gonna go straight through that BKB. So he's gonna have to try and catch out one of them and maybe have his team bait out the other, something along those lines. Otherwise, GPM are going to be able to waste a lot of that duration. But again, if they're focusing those disables on the Faceless Void, then they're not hitting the supports. And if Disruptor and Jakiro are left alone in these fights, they've just got so much spammable disables, spammable damage, that if the Faceless Void survives the full stun chain from GPM, then GPM are going to be losing heroes left, right, and center. And Faceless Void, his farm is just not stopping. I mean, well, I'll switch over from Lassets and Knives. I mean, just look at that net worth. I mean, Tiny is close, but 4K the difference. Now picked up his Ags, but again, still only level 14. And Svengali now the target. Doomsday heading forward with those phase boots. Is he going to find the avalanche? It will be there. Going to be glimpsed back, but Svengali probably going to be going down here. And Venomancer actually able to pick that up. EMP not actually going to hit there. Not perfectly timed with the tornado. And a bot tier 1 falls in favor of CTM, and Disrupt is going to be up very soon. Will actually buy back now as Doomsday crests the high ground, and Ice Path going to land perfectly. Macropyre there as well. Just going to wipe out the creep wave for now, and a good blink forward by the Batter picks out the Invoker. He's going to be picked off here. Sneaks. Is he going to be able to make it out? Gets into the Ghost Walk. Is there any detection? There should be, but great play by him, and Shawnee in the middle of that actually picked off. So CTM actually able to recover the person grabbed by the Flaming Lasso and pick up a kill in the process. Great play by them. And Cyrex now just moving forward, but GPM need to be careful. They've got TPs on a few heroes, but Scones is already going to be taking the tier 3 up here in just a second. But looks like GPM, they've only got 4 heroes and they want mid. Tier 3 now taking some damage, but they're racing against the Faceless Void, and Faceless Void is winning. Tornado flies through. CTM have perfect abilities to just hold this off. Kinetic Field not quite landing. Sadnar now a little bit of trouble. Ice Path hits on him. Able to get the Poison Nova off. That's going to do some good damage. And Jakiro maybe in a little bit of trouble. Batrider stuck in the middle here. Going to get glimpsed backwards. And the TPN now from Scones comes forward. Gets the Chrono on one. So Leshrac, the target, going to be able to pick up that kill. And over on the side, Sneaks now fighting up against the Batrider. And Cyrex gonna be able to get that, well, gonna be able to get the Shuriken toss off. God, why can I not think of ability names today? But CTM hold on to their racks. I mean, tier 3 down on top and tier 3 down on mid for either team. But CTM picking up a couple of kills there. I mean, GPM as well, but it's on the supports. And Tiny dying as well as the Batrider. Not a great situation for GPM. And XP now really heavily in favor of the dire side. Gold as well, now breaching 8k. And Faceless Void just continues his farm. I mean, already up to 14k net worth, and we're only 26 minutes into the game. And with the BKB now, we can just head straight for a big damage item, and could maybe see the Eagle Song picked up right now, but it's actually going to be Demon Edge. So I guess MKB, crit, or even a rapier, but probably going to see something a little bit more conservative. But GPM, they're really throwing their bodies against this middle lane right now. And they're going to be able to grab up that double damage rune. But again, I mean, team fights are really going the way of CTM right now. They've got so many disables. They've got great damage between the Macropyre and the Static Storm, and just great all-around disable between the Invoker and the Kinetic Field. CTM now smoked up waiting on the high ground, gonna spot out GPM, coming in from behind, Shawnee now the target. Is he going to be able to get anything off? Ice Path going to land on him. Scones comes in. He wants Doomsday. Pops at the Beacon Bead. Not hit by the Flame Break. And Invoker just going to walk himself into the edge of the Chrono. Doomsday the target. He's stuck perfectly in the edge of that kinetic field. Is he going to be able to make it out? Scones still chasing for now, but able to get that last right click in. Tiny is the first casualty of this fight. Shawnee now sent back. He's tracked up. One more right click. Going to finish him off. Sadnar now able to get the Poison Nova off, but Ice Path going to land on him. He's going to be picked off. 3 heroes dead for GPM. And Batrider retreating into the enemy base, just trying to wrap around for now, able to blink away, and looks like he will be able to survive. Force Staff almost up on him, but CtM are continuing to chase, and the track is up very, very fast. Invoker comes through, and EMP will land. Scones comes in, doesn't even need the bash, able to finish that off with one more right click. So 4 heroes dead for GPM in that fight. And just getting picked off perfectly by that smoke gank from CtM. And Shawnee got his ultimate off in that fight. I didn't see what it was on, but I mean he was the initial target, and Tiny did go down first, so I guess he managed to retreat out there, but I'm not sure if there's any stopping this Faceless Void right now. And Chronosphere is going to be up in 15 seconds as well, right as Batrider gets up. Tier 2 is still on full HP, but I think that's going to change very, very quickly. As CtM push down this middle lane, they're up so many kills. 33 to 18 is the swing. I mean, GPM could still pick up a Rax if they can take a team fight, but just being forced back for now. Tracks flying up. Tier 2 taking some significant damage. And Cyrex just keeping everyone hedged back. Now going to be grabbed out by the Flaming Lasso. Maybe in a little bit of a bad position. But Scones comes in. Hits a great Chronosphere. Alacrity up on him. Wants to Shrek. Big combo with the Thunderdome. And 3 already dead. Scones is beyond godlike. And Alacrity up on him. Doing so much damage. And Tier 2 going to be falling as well. Probably the Tier 3. Alacrity one more time. And CtM probably just going to keep going down this middle lane. Doomsday trying to do what he can down on this bottom lane. But CtM actually going to back off for now. Maybe just go for the Roshan. Going to be happy with what they gained from that fight. And they've got the Medallion up on the Bounty Hunter as well, plus the Vlads. So very, very easy Roshan for them, if that's what they're going for. Plus some wards down. Going to be able to spot out any unsmoked heroes coming through. So probably just going to head straight into the Roshan pit. Yep, so will be Roshan. And they're just so far ahead right now. I mean, golden XP graphs, I hazard to look at them. 20k and 15k this swing in XP and gold respectively. And GPM, you could see what they were going for, but I mean, Faceless Void just got so much farm. And GPM picked up some towers early, but just couldn't connect through that middle lane. Able to clean up bot, but mid lane just did not work out for them. And CtM just had fantastic team fight between the Invoker, the Disruptor, and the Jakiro. It wasn't even all that level dependent either. As soon as Jakiro and Disruptor had that level 6 up, they were just so easily able to lock down and clean up this team fights. And they have such great area denial as well. They've got the Ice Path, they've got the Macropyre, they've got the Kinetic Field as well. I'm not sure why I keep calling it Telekinetic Field. I think it's probably my love for Rubik there shining through, but anyway. But I mean, between all of those abilities plus the Static Storm on top, there's just nowhere that's safe to stand for GPM in these fights. And Tornado is fantastic setup for the Kinetic Field as well, so it's not a ridiculously difficult teamfight combo to land. And again, the Chronosphere, great setup as well. We saw that in that last fight. So looks like CtM probably just going to be pushing down, looking to finish this up now. They've got double GPM's kills right now. Tier 2 probably going to be going down at uncontested. Alacrity up one more time on Scones. Look at that tower melt. And GPM going to try and mount the defense at the base. Only 2 Plague Wards up, but I'm not sure if it's going to make the biggest difference in the world. And that's one creep wave there, but Scones immediately takes the high ground. Has the Chronosphere available for anything that goes. well, goes awry, and still an 8-second BKB up as well. Tier 3 tower taking some significant damage, and fortification now going to pop off. Faceless Void just does not care. Now the EMP, Flame Break back. Are they going to try and grab him out? And Batrider now grabbed up in that, well, now grabbed up in the Chrono. Right click's coming out for now, and the Static Storm plus the Macro Pyre just doing so much damage. Sadinar in big trouble, but he's going to be picked off as well. Scones continues the right-clicking spree. Going to be stunned up by a good Leshrac stun there, but Doomsday glimpsed back in. Probably going to be picked off here. Scones beyond godlike. One more right-click kill there for him. But GPM, it was up to them to sort of end it early. They didn't have the same hard carry potential as the Faceless Void, but they just couldn't quite execute. But well played by them all the same. But expecting to see the GG called right here. 1 Rax down, and CtM probably just going to head straight towards mid. 3 GPM heroes dead for now. And yeah, looks like CtM just going to be finishing this up. Yeah, Leshrac coming forward, going to get that stun off, but tier 3 going to fall. Rax probably soon to follow. Poison Nova now going to fly off, but Scones does not care, going to be going for the right clicks. Sadinar in big trouble. Good knockback by the Flame Break, and that Scones actually grabbed up, but he does have the Aegis available, so he's dead in the middle of the GPM team right now, but I'm not sure if he's going to care. Still has the BKB available as well, so comes straight out, pops the BKB, time walks away as well. And CtM just opting to play this safe for now, so going to back off, probably wait for their ultimates to cool down. Static Storm now up, and the Chronosphere going to be there in 10 seconds as well, so everything lining up fairly well as well in terms of those cooldowns. So we've got 100 seconds on the Chronosphere, 85 seconds on the Static Storm, and what's the Macro Pyre? 60 seconds there, so all reasonably close, sort of in the same order of magnitude. If we're going to say another order up is sort of Black Hole and Ravage, and then further down is, well, not further down, but it definitely feels like it is Stampede. I'm gonna continue my whining about Centaur right now. But Eagle Song now picked up for Scones. He is just ridiculously farmed. Look at that net worth graph. So much track gold, so many last hits. I mean, 225 CS for this Faceless Void. He is very rich. And GPM probably just gonna head back down mid. And if they can take a team fight, they can take a Rex, but I'm not sure if they're in a good position to do so. I mean, how is Tiny's farm going? Hyperstone now picked up on him, so getting reasonably close to his AC. Going to be able to do some good damage in this coming fight. And there's still some drum charges up on the Beastmaster. 1 left, so a little bit more move speed there and some attack speed. And Sneak's now coming through, but Chronosphere only going to land on 1 and grabbing up the Bounty Hunter as well, but Scones is already beyond godlike. Kinetic Field going to land. Macro Pyre down, not quite hitting on anyone, but Batrider on their retreat. 2 heroes already dead. Good Deafening Blast. Going to hit. Doomsday not able to reach. Grabbed up by the Ice Path. 4 stick down onto the low ground, but will be picked off here. And Batrider now on the retreat, but Invoker is probably just a little bit too fast, and the Tornado are going to go through as well. Cyrax with the Janata hit available, so will be Batrider picked off there. And 5 heroes dead. CtM going to be able to grab another 2 Rexes here, and that will be the game. So GPM going to call GG. And 44 for AT in the final score. So I'll just wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs, I guess. But this is a game from, I believe, the Alienware Arena tournament, which I found via the Dota 2 Casted subreddit again. So I encourage everyone, go and post your replays there. Casters, anybody who's interested in doing this sort of thing, go and check it out. There's some good replays there. It's a little bit of a change of pace from just purely casting, I guess, old competitive games and things like that, and it's good fun as well. So yeah, just gonna wait for the final score screen. Tier 3 towers going, well, Tier 4 towers going down, absolutely no problem. Mega creeps up for CtM. And a little bit of fountain action. Gonna see Cyrax pulled back into the fountain. So he is gonna be picked off. But QQ face for him there. And 1 more Chronosphere. We're gonna have the Venomancer going down here. Scones now pops with a BKB. And GPM just trying to lure him into the fountain, but not having any of it. A little bit of casual fountain camping going on. But I'll watch the ancient HP. Let's pretend that that's not happening. Nah, so Scruns now comes over. Gonna be right clicking down the ancient one more time, once another round. But there we go. So this was a game from the Dota 2 Casted subreddit. I've been Basekip. It's been a pleasure bringing you guys these games. As always, I'm sure there are a plethora of mistakes by me, but practice is practice. I hope it's been enjoyable all the same. I hope to see you guys around soon. Again, Dota 2 Casted subreddit, do it. Post your replays. If you got interesting things that you want cast, do it. There are people there who want to get the project off the ground. But yeah, I think I've said all I have to say, so hope to see you guys some other time.